A new front has opened in America's border war, and it isn't just coming from Mexico. Homeland Security sources say Mexican cartels have teamed up with domestic left-wing activist groups like Antifa to target federal agents. They're offering cash rewards for beating up and even the unaliving of ICE and CBP officers for up to $50,000 a pop. Fox News aired the bombshell report that's now setting off national security alarms in Washington. So how do cartels and radical organizations find common cause on U.S. soil? And what does it say about the state of law and order in our republic? And this isn't just about the border anymore. It's about America itself. So here's what happened next. My name is Tom. I'm with the Daily Beltway, and I'm also a White House correspondent for the Next News Network. And according to a new DHS briefing, Mexican cartels are not only placing bounties on federal agents, they're working with radical activist networks inside the U.S. to help carry them out. And if you guys believe this kind of domestic collusion must end, share this video, like it, and let others know what's really going on. So what happens next was caught on video, a Fox News segment where officials laid out the bounty system and the links to left-wing groups operating in Chicago and Portland and across our nation. Check this out.
5 to 10 grand for kidnapping of ICE agents or Customs and Border Patrol agents, non-lethal assault, $50,000 for the assassination of high-ranking officials. Whew. Here's Greg Bavino. He works in Chicago. Says he had a bounty on his head. Watch.
We've got $50,000 bounties on the heads of federal law enforcement officers. We have criminals ramming vehicles, criminals bringing guns to protests. This is not regular street crime here.
And then the police locally are being told to stand down and to not assist these guys when there is this level of threat against their lives.
Here in Chicago, we have assaults on Border Patrol agents, ICE officers, and our allied law enforcement agencies every day, often multiple times per day. And again, these assaults, the lethality of these assaults is increasing.
How can your officers respond to that effectively?
Well, there's power in numbers. There's safety in numbers. Secretary Noem, ever since that terror attack we saw in Dallas, she's been hardening our ICE facilities. President Trump has called in the National Guard, a very prescient and great, strong leadership we've seen from the President of the United States. But, I mean, we are seeing a coordinated, highly organized waging of war on our law enforcement on the streets of Chicago. These men and women are simply enforcing the rule of law and doing their job, and yet there's these foreign terrorist networks who are going after them. They're using a tiered system of bounties to go after them, whether it be doxing their family members, kidnapping, even murdering these brave men and women.
And they are passing laws nationwide trying to make it illegal for ICE agents and federal officers to have masks on. Because they can do that then. They can find their families and find them online. It's disgusting. So Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin told viewers that cartels have been channeling money through front groups posing as community organizations to supply protest logistics and intel on ICE operations. And former CBP Chief Greg Bavino added that U.S.-based gangs and activist cells are acting as spotters, using radios and social media to track agents during deportation raids. He called it a marriage of criminal money and political chaos. And ABC News later confirmed the bounty were spreading through encrypted apps used by domestic protest groups. And one federal case in Chicago shows a Latin Kings leader coordinating with a nonprofit linked to radical activists to dox ICE families and pay cash for the unalivings. Investigators say cartel money helped fuel protests that turned, violent outside federal buildings last month. And then came the turning point. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem announced a joint task force to identify domestic operations receiving foreign cartel funds, and National Guard units are now protecting ICE facilities nationwide. And President Trump has authorized expanded surveillance and is weighing military options against cartel leaders if an agent is harmed. Meanwhile, law enforcement unions warn that activist cover groups are shielding criminal operations under the banner of protest. So tell me this, do you guys think the Cartel Activist Alliance should be treated as acts of domestic terror funded by foreign powers? I think so. And if you got value from this report, please tap subscribe, like, and share. My opinion is next. So this story should shock every single American. When foreign cartels and domestic activists team up to target our law enforcement officers, it ceases to be a policy issue. It becomes an assault on our republic itself. And these alliances show how easily ideology and crime can merge when leaders look the other way. So no border, no law, no peace. That's the path that we're heading down if America fails to act. And standing with our agents means standing for order, truth, and the rule of law. Should foreign-funded activist groups, lose their tax status and face prosecution for colluding with cartels? Tell me what you guys think below, and don't forget to share this video if you believe that this law still matters. God bless.